Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Rational Investor. My name is Adam Kahn. Today is December 9th, and I'm going to talk about getting weekly dividends. I saw a video on YouTube from a guy who had this strategy. I'm going to delve into whether I think this is a good idea or not. So stick around for the video and let me know what you think. Before I get into the video about getting weekly dividends, if you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. It only takes a second. I really appreciate it. It helps YouTube's algorithm, and if you guys are enjoying the content I provide, helps others find the channel as well. I'm also going to put a link in the description about opening an account at SoFi. I use them myself. I own some of the stock. I think they're a great company. The account that I opened with them is one that I opened with my son. He's only 13 years old. If you deposit $10 or more, they're going to give you a free $25. On top of that, they're going to put a gift into the account that I opened with him. And it helps me because I try to teach him this stuff as well. I get excited to try to teach him about investing as well as teaching you guys. But since I'm his dad and he doesn't always listen, when the money goes in, it helps him to kind of pay attention a little bit better. And I think that's super cool. And I appreciate the kindness. So thank you for that. So I want to talk about this strategy about getting dividends every week. And not only do I do the content on YouTube, I watch a lot of the other content creators as well. I like a lot of them, and this is a guy I really respected. But I have to tell you, I thought this was one of the worst concepts I had heard because I don't think he explains it real well. And I'd hate to think people getting into these stocks for this reason and misunderstanding how dividends work. Essentially, what he had done is he'd worked out a spreadsheet of a bunch of different dividend stocks and when they paid their dividends to be able to provide this portfolio that you could invest in to get a dividend every week. Well, what I don't like about that strategy is when a company gives the dividend, the stock drops by that amount. It's not free money. There might be this misunderstanding from some of the people watching those channels, or mine, is to be perfectly honest, of how dividends work. If you own a stock that is a $10 stock and they give out a $1 dividend, that stock should drop to $9. It still has the same value. It's the $10 stock, but they have given you a dollar of the value of the company. Now, it obviously doesn't work exact because there's trading on whatever day that the stock distribution goes out. So if it drops to a dollar to nine, from there, it may go up or down and appear to have not dropped as much as the dividend or more than the dividend. But the reality is, the value of the total is still the same no matter what. So, creating a spreadsheet and figuring out when a company pays its dividends and then buying the stock based on that because you're going to get the dividend distribution is just silly. You need to pick the companies that make the most sense for you. Now, you have to do your own research. I say it all the time. My God, really. And if you have a good amount of money, seek a financial advisor. Get some advice if you don't know what to do. But at the same time, none of it's that hard to do. You can do your own research, you can learn about the markets. There's tons of information out there, and I think YouTube is a great place. Just make sure not to listen to any of us and just rely on that completely. You have to learn about it yourself, and if you're coming here already, it means you're showing an interest and you probably care enough that you can take the time to learn to invest in things. And I find it's really easy. I pay attention much more than I should in a lot of ways. When I was young, I pretty much would just go out and look around, and wherever I shopped or whatever I did, I started to realize those are companies. If I ate at McDonald's, which I don't anymore because I'm already too heavy, but it's a great company. I would recognize, oh, McDonald's is a company. They have stock. I can invest in it. If I use Amazon as a place to shop, or Target, or if I use Microsoft products or whatever it is. It really doesn't have to be anything in particular. Or I drive around and I see Lennar building homes, or the bulldozers going out there, and that's Caterpillar. Like pretty much everything that you do and use, they might be a company. And you might like their products and think that they'll continue to grow. It doesn't have to be this new greatest thing that's going to explode from a penny to $1 million. It's just hard to find those things. And this concept of getting weekly dividends by doing a spreadsheet and picking those stocks and buying it that week so you get that week's dividend. I I really like the guy who was doing the video, but I think this strategy in particular was just kind of silly, and it misleads people as to what dividends are. Dividends are not free money. They really aren't. Whatever the value of the company is, the day before that dividend is distributed, it's still part of the value of the stock and the company. When they distribute that money is no longer part of that company, and the stock price should drop accordingly. I hope everybody understands that and really gets that. There are plenty of good companies that give good dividends. I love dividends, which you all know. Just be aware of what they actually are and don't be misled. There's no free money. There's no way to trick the system. I don't know if you saw my options trading strategy. I might go into that a little bit more because I do think that's a way to get a little bit better return on investment than people often think of. Because from my perspective, again, it takes more risk. So I really don't want anyone following my strategy without really being prepared. And if you have questions, just ask them. I'll be happy to go more in detail about how it works, because it's not just like there's lots of things that go in options, but they're essentially insurance, whether it's to the upside or the downside. And I find the selling side of options can actually generate some extra income over time. You just have to really know how to use them properly. You can use the options to get into positions and also to get out of positions. And you can trade, if you notice a range that a stock is in, you can actually play it really well with that. Anyway, I hope you're all enjoying your weekend. I hope you find some great value in the content. Again, before I forget, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And have a great rest of your weekend. Don't forget to check in tomorrow. I'm going to talk about that $10,000 portfolio I've been working on, how it did this week, and I'll go through the stocks that I picked and all of that. Have a great day.